So, hello everyone. We are the Group 8 reporters, and our topic is all about God Sees the Truth But Waits by Leo Tolstoy. So, let us know first the background of the author. Leo Tolstoy was born on September 9, 1828 at Yasnaya Polyana, Russia. So, he was the fourth of five children in a wealthy family of Russian landed gentry. So his parents died when he was a child. He was brought up by his elder brothers and relatives. Tolstoy was a Russian writer who is regarded as one of the greatest authors of all time. Also, he received nominations for the Nobel Prize in Literature every year from 1902 to 1906 and for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1901, 1902, and 1909. And Leo Tolstoy died on November 20, 1910. So for the summary of the story follows a Russian merchant named Ivan Dmitrich Aksionov. He has a wife and young children. He used to drink alcohol often, but now he only does so occasionally. So one day, he prefers to travel to fair to sell his wares. His wife says that she is worried, as she had a nightmare in which Ivan returned home with gray hair. Ivan dismisses the dream and departs. He only laughs what his wife said to him. On his way to the fair, he encounters a fellow merchant. At nightfall, they rent adjoining rooms at the hotel. And the next day, the police arrest Ivan as someone murdered the other merchant during the night and stole the merchant money. So the police find a bloody knife in Ivan's bag and arrest him. Ivan is distraught that no one or not even his wife believes his innocence. So he is sentenced to spend the rest of his life in a prison labor camp in Siberia. So Ivan turns to religion for solace, and over the years, he becomes respected by the guards and the prisoners. So 26 years after his arrest, a new prisoner named Makar Semyonik arrives. So Ivan concludes that Semyonik was the one who actually murdered the merchant and framed him. One night, Ivan discovers Makar digging an escape tunnel. So tunnel guards later discovered the tunnel and asked the prisoners to tell them who dug it. So Ivan decides not to tell the guards anything as Makar would likely be executed. Makar moved by Ivan's action and confesses that he was the one who killed the merchant and framed Ivan. Then he also begs for Ivan's forgiveness, tells the authorities the truth of Ivan's innocence. So Ivan dies shortly before the authorities order him to be released. Then Ivan's final moments, he feels a sense of serenity and spiritual fulfillment.
So the characters of the story. The first character is Ivan Aksionov, protagonist, a fully accused of murder. He is a young merchant. He is handsome, fair-haired, curly-headed fellow, full of fun and very fond of singing. He used to drink much before marriage, but later on, he changed himself and became a good man. Next one is Makar Semyonik, protagonist and antagonist. He is a cold-blooded murderer, a scoundrel. Knowingly, he hides the blood-stained knife in Ivan's bag and tips of the police. He doesn't confess his guilt on the day he meets Ivan. And third one is Ivan's wife. Wife warns her husband not to go to noisy fair, as she has had a nightmare in which his hair goes white in response to some terrible face come upon him. She reminds him of her warning when she visits him in person and runs her hand through his hair. The last character is the fellow merchant. He is a man whom Ivan meets on his way to Nizi Fair. So the next one is setting, conflict, and point of view. So the setting, the story takes place in the prison in Siberia. And the conflict is Ivan is found guilty of a murder he didn't commit. Finding no justice, Ivan puts his faith in God's plan. So we all know that the real murderer is Mikhail Semyonik, not Ivan Aksionov. And the point of view is the story is written in the third person. So let's proceed in plot. Exposition. Ivan was a young merchant who lived in Vladimir together with his wife. He decided to sell their goods to earn money, so during summer he decided to travel. And the rising action is when Ivan met a merchant and drank tea together and later went to the same rooms and he decided to check in an inn. And the climax of the short story is Ivan finds out that the merchant he met the night before he has been found murdered and the officials accuse him of killing him since there was a knife with bloodstains on his bag nga gibuhat ni kaning Mikar. So si Mikar ang nagbutang sa bag ang kutsilyo gibutang niya sa bag ni Ivan para si Ivan ang mapasanginlan. So next one is the falling action. Ivan suspects Makar, one of the new prisoners, of the killing the merchant. Later, he found out that Makar is planning to break the prison, though he didn't tell the authorities. So galikay na lang pud si Ivan sa kanang kay Makar.
The resolution of the story is Makar realized his mistake and he confessed of killing the merchant and putting the knife inside Ivan's bag. And he asked Ivan for forgiveness. Ivan was ordered to go back home, but he was already dead. And these are the symbolisms of the story. First is the house and shops. It symbolizes Ivan's family and material possessions. Second is the nightmare. It means the terrible fate of Ivan's life. It indicates a bad omen. Third is the blood-stained knife. It indicates lack of control over Ivan's fate. Fourth is the prison. Ivan's suffering and spiritual transformation. And lastly is the book or the lives of the saint. Ivan devotes his life toward God and keep faith till the end. The theme of the story are guilt, forgiveness, faith, conflict, freedom, and acceptance. And among these all themes, forgiveness is one of the greatest themes. And lastly, the moral lesson of the story, God sees the truth but waits, is an untitled short story that reinforces the biblical message that when the world is up against you, God alone knows the truth. Ivan Dmitrich Aksionov is falsely imprisoned for 26 years for a crime he did not commit but put his trust in God. And that's all. Thank you.